conflict is an unavoidable part of human interaction, weaving in and out of our personal and professional lives. Each day, we face situations that test our ability to communicate effectively, especially when faced with opposing viewpoints. Whether it's a heated discussion on politics, a disagreement with a friend, or a debate at work, arguing can sometimes be a daunting task. As someone who studies and teaches negotiation at Harvard, I understand the discomfort many feel around conflict. It's a natural human response, driven by our desire to maintain harmony and avoid tension. But what if I told you that conflict doesn't have to be a negative force in your life? What if I told you that arguing, when done correctly, can be constructive and beneficial? 1. Understand the role of identity ***. The first step in mastering the art of argument lies in understanding the concept of identity. Identity encompasses our core values, beliefs, and the fundamental aspects of who we are. When engaging in an argument, it's crucial to recognize when these elements of your identity are being challenged. Imagine a scenario where your deeply held belief is thrown into question. Naturally, this feels threatening because your sense of self is intertwined with these beliefs. The emotional response is immediate and powerful, clouding judgment and escalating the conflict. Consider a political argument where identities are often sharply defined by party lines. It's not just about the issue on the table. It's about what that issue represents to you personally. It becomes about your pride, your values, and your need to protect them. The key to overcoming this barrier is self-awareness. You need to know who you are and what matters most to you. Delving into introspection, ask yourself, what values are propelling me to fight for this viewpoint? By reflecting on your motivations, you gain clarity, allowing you to engage in conversations without losing balance, even when your core beliefs are being challenged. 2. Harness the power of appreciation ***. The second step involves the power of appreciation. In the heat of conflict, we often become so focused on winning that we forget to acknowledge the other side's perspective. However, everyone desires to feel appreciated and validated. Try this exercise. In your next argument, make a conscious effort to step back and listen. Don't speak for the first 10 minutes. Allow the other side to express their viewpoint without interruption. As you listen, ask yourself, what is the value behind their perspective? What emotions are driving their stance on matters like immigration or healthcare? Understanding the logic and rationale behind an opposing viewpoint is the first step to resolution. Express your understanding by acknowledging their perspective. Say things like, I hear where you're coming from, and that makes sense to me. These simple words can de-escalate tension and open the door for a more cooperative dialogue. In every interaction, you hold the power to appreciate others. Recognize the impact of these affirmations. When people feel heard and valued, barriers begin to break down, making it easier to reach a collaborative solution. 3. Foster a sense of affiliation ***. Finally, we come to affiliation, the emotional connection that plays a pivotal role in arguments. Often, conflicts are seen as a battleground where it's me versus you, my opinions on healthcare versus yours. This adversarial approach results in two parties clashing without ever reaching a meaningful resolution. To counter this, shift the dynamic from adversaries to partners. Instead of perceiving it as a direct confrontation, view it as a joint effort to address a shared problem. Ask questions like, what's your advice on how we can get as many of our interests met simultaneously? By positioning yourself alongside the other party, you encourage cooperation and problem solving. Instead of butting heads, you work together towards mutual goals, facilitating a more productive and less antagonistic conversation. When you incorporate these three principles, identity, appreciation, and affiliation, into your approach, you don't just argue, you transform relationships. Imagine a world where our debates lead to enhanced understanding and collaboration. Consider how politics would change if we engaged with empathy and willingness to appreciate opposing views. This positive revolution in the way we communicate might just hold the key to transforming societies, countries, and ultimately, our world. It begins with each of us adopting a healthier, more effective way to handle conflicts. So next time you find yourself arguing, pause, reflect, and employ these strategies to not only resolve the conflict, but to emerge stronger and more connected than before.